I paid a grand total of £53, which equivalates to $70 for a faulty Nintendo Switch. Today we're going to try and repair it and then sell it on to make a profit. Let's have a look into it. The listing on eBay states, the fault with this system is that it will not power on or charge. The top grille is also disfigured. The console is in great condition from a cosmetic perspective. The screen is in good shape and there aren't any major scratches. I can confirm that the top is a little bit disconfigured, as you can see. I don't know how this has happened. Maybe some heat has got to the device and misshaped this because it's not snapped anywhere. Usually this would be snapped, but it's not. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on under the grille. First things first, the most important rule of getting a faulty game console is making sure that you don't have any games come with it, which is a shame. We're disappointed today. There is also no kickstand as well, and there's no SD card. We are missing one screw from the bottom of the device, so I'm not that hopeful that nobody's been into it. We have a top screw as well. That is good. Seller was pretty spot on with the listing. The screen's in relatively good condition, actually really good condition. Scratch-wise, there's not many on it except for the back, but that's pretty natural to have some marks and scratches on the back, especially when you put it in and out of a docking station as well. Let's grab our magical device, which is this beautiful thing right here. It's called an ammeter. Hopefully it's going to tell us a little bit of a story as to what's wrong with this Nintendo Switch, considering that it doesn't power on. First off, before we try that, let's see if it turns on. Nothing on the screen. It doesn't look like there is a backlight either, so we can rule that out. I'm going to put my ammeter onto my official Nintendo Switch charger. Do we get anything on the ammeter? We don't. We actually get nothing. If I wiggle it about a bit, do we get anything? No. That's very interesting. What about if we turn it around, switch it to the back? Do we get anything here? No, we don't. Doesn't seem like it. In my experience of fixing not that many switches, this usually points to a dodgy charging port. Can we see anything right off the bat wrong with the charging port? Nothing looks loose in there from what I can see, but probably gonna have to give this one a better look under the scope. I'm looking at a really small DSLR camera screen, by the way, so I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like it, but I could be wrong. We have blue matte pat ready to go. Let's get this switch apart. I got about halfway disassembling, and what I can see is that you can see here on the battery we have what looks like battery leak of some sort. I mean, that's not normal, I don't think. Everything else on the Nintendo Switch looks fine. No issues whatsoever. Everything looks really clean. The water damage sticker is still, it's a little bit pink, but it's not fully pink. It looks to be okay. I will look closer around that in a second. I have just clocked, however, that there is a lot of things wrong around M92. I'll get the microscope out in a second, but yeah, that is just, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is so much wrong with M92. We've got components hanging on by their dear life up here. Oh dear, what have I got myself into today? I just want to state for the record as well, I've just removed 2 screws from here and the screws from the heatsink cover that goes to the APU here. And they were all stripped. I just had to try so hard to get these out. So somebody's definitely been in here and messed some things up. Don't know if you can see down here as well, but where the speaker connects to is just exposed. The plastic is snapped down here. So God knows if that still works. First inspections, let's have a look. BQ seems absolutely fine. You can tell there's been nothing really used around here, no heat because we have no evidence of flux or anything like that. I think that's just a little bit of debris there. We move over to the port. I can't tell if this is factory or whether somebody's changed it because I can see a little bit of burnt plastic over here. So I don't know if this is a new port. The soldering joints, the actual ground holes, it looks like factory. I mean, it could have been, this could be the original port looking at it. And if I look on the back as well, same sort of thing. We have the yellowy dried flux, which I believe is factory stuff. So I think this is okay. If we actually take a look inside the port, again, we're looking all right. I'm led to believe that there's no bent pins and we're looking okay, in my opinion. So I don't think the issue is the charging port. If, however, we move to M92 T30, what on earth has happened here? Few small things to note. This is going to have to be taken off 100%. I don't know if these caps are alive. I don't know which orientation these caps go in, so I'm going to have to revise from another board. Components are flying around here. They've gone to the Quidditch World Cup. We've got a capacitor missing from here, and I think we have a resistor missing from here. We're also missing a small cap that goes here, and I don't know if I've mentioned, but the CPU cap that goes to the CPU is hanging on by a thread, so I need to put that back onto here. This has had some work done to it, and somebody has messed up. They've put the listing on eBay, said it's faulty and that it doesn't power on, in the hope that no one's going to take a look at this for whatever weird reason and try and get away with it. I don't understand why people would do that. I am sure that you will get the same money on eBay selling it if you said, This is wrong with it. I tried to do some stuff on M92. I've messed up royally and now it won't power on. Now, one thing I don't know is if any pads have been torn here, looking at that. And if they have, I'm going to be in big trouble because I've never done trace repair around M92, but I will for sure give it my best shot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I've got some work to do and I'm going to need to concentrate. Enjoy. Sweet, I have sorted out what the mess was up here. I've put a cap here, I've put a cap here, I've put a little resistor here, I've put this cap here, I've put the CPU cap back into place. We've tidied up these caps as they were bridged. So we've done an okay job and it still looks pretty tidy in my opinion. A lot tidier than what it did. I'm now gonna have to do some testing to find out what's attached to what. So we have 2 missing pads here. I'm pretty sure these 2 missing pads go to ground, so that's not gonna be an issue. I will need to scrape and confirm that. We have a pad here that I need to jump a wire from this little circle here, the via, to this pin here. Now my meter is in continuity mode, which is the mode where it beeps if there is a complete circuit. So for example, if I go to this pin here and this cap, there shouldn't be a beep. No, so there is a break in the wire for sure. What I am gonna do, if you guys saw my video where I tried to fix 6 Nintendo Switches, I'm just gonna put my black probe on ground and I'm just gonna see if any of these pads have ground, because that will short out the circuit, meaning that it doesn't turn on. I'm not scraping, I'm literally just running it across, so that's fine. None of these are grounded, which is good. Let's start with the trace repair. Live Joey assumes that post-editing Joey would have made that a little bit of a montage because I didn't really speak. We have a trace wire here that seems to be solid. We've got a trace wire here, a trace wire here. I'll come back to these two in a second. We've got a trace wire here, and a trace wire here that I've just knocked out of place. I will add conformal coating once I'm happy and I've tested all of these to make sure that they're going to the right place. But I'm a little concerned about this pad and this pad. I reached out to Phil the Coder and Josh from Micro Made Repair to ask about these 2 pads. I have measured this area that I just pointed to on not a known good board. This is a faulty board. However, I think the M92 is good. I've measured in both resistant mode and diode mode. In resistance mode, I get 3 mega ohms on each pad. In diode mode, I get 0.6 on each pad. Phil from the Coder has just stated that he was reading open line on both of these without the chip. So I feel like the chip does something, but the board itself and these pads that are on the board, I don't think they do anything or go anywhere. Without further ado, I don't think there's anything more to do. I'm gonna put some conformal coating on these areas just to secure these wires down. I'm gonna quickly go over them to make sure they're tinned as well as the pads. Then I'm gonna put an M92 T36 chip on and let's see what happens. Right, let's get this M92 on the board. There we go, a sort of tinned M92. There's a couple on there that didn't get a full tin, but do you know what? Is what it is. Not overly happy at how it's turned out, but I'll give it a clean. We'll go from there. I'm going to go around all the sides with just flux and just clean up whatever I can. Right, let's see how we're looking. This side. Seems to be okay. Everything's connected. Good. Not the best job. This side. Again, everything seems to be connected. Not the best job. This side. All connected? Yeah, I believe so. We're just going to quickly check for shorts just to make sure that we're all good. Seem to be okay. Are we good from a fuse perspective? Yep. And finally P13, how you looking? All good. Let's put it back together and test. Moment of truth. I've got a new battery as well because this one I don't want to use just in case it blows up on us or something, you know, which wouldn't be ideal. So I've got a spare battery that I purchased because I've actually used the other one in another switch now. Good. And it's got 3.8 volts in. I've already checked, which should be enough to turn on the switch, I hope. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We've tried. This is a big moment of truth right here. Nothing. Oh no, why we wiggle? No, nothing. Devastating, man. Just realised that I was testing and I didn't have the NAND in, which is the memory, the system memory, which I now do. So let's see what happens. Here we go. 0.00 even with the NAND in. So exactly the same thing. Battery's in, definitely. And I will try the other side now that I've got the NAND in, see if that makes a difference. No, it doesn't. This side doesn't work. We'll go for a reflow of M92 T36. Looks a little bit out of position for me. I've just tested off camera and I get the exact same result. If I turn it to this side, you'll be able to see how it's like, it's got so much air time, like so much hang time here. But I'm pressing down on it so hard. I'll try another reflow and then I think I'm actually gonna have to take these traces off and replace them with like thinner ones. I think that's the only thing I can think of. Before I do that, let's go for one more reflow. I've just put it in now, and after reflowing that time, we get 0.03 amps at 5.2 volts. So just to show you again, nothing happens with it. The NAND is definitely plugged in, as well as the ribbon cable, the backlight cable. But yeah, we don't get anything other than 0.03. That now tells me that I think I need to revisit this M92 chip again and use thinner wire. I don't think the chip is sitting flat. This is where I am now, pretty much back to square one, no pun intended. I'm gonna go to bed because it's very, very late and I'm gonna come at this tomorrow with a fresh level head. I'm gonna use smaller enameled wire, so hopefully the chip can sit flat. See you tomorrow. Here we are, next day. Let's do this. Quick summary before I put M92 T36 on. All the traces have been restored using much smaller wire. I think the width is 0.8 mil, but again, could be wrong. Everything should be good to go. This one's a little bit short, but as long as I cover it, we should be all right. Taking me a very long time, but this is good practice for me. Regardless of the result, what comes next, this is really good practice. That's why I keep telling myself anyway. Wish me luck. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our finished product. So we can see that that side is okay. We can see that this side is okay. Bare minimum solder on those two pads on the right, but do you know what? It's connected. The chip is flat. This side, which is where we were having issues before, looks fine, good. And finally this side, which again, we're looking okay. Let's test it. I tested it and yeah, we have the same result of just nothing happening with the charger. One more reflow for M92 T36 and then I'm actually gonna call it a day for this one. Here we go, final test. I've just put the NAND on as well, so I'm hoping we get something. Even if I see like 0.01 here, just something on the screen, that'll be positive. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh no. Try the other side quick. Nothing on this side either. So I think this is now officially dead. I gave it my best shot. It was really good to be able to use the jumper wires because I don't get to do that often, you see. So it's good, really, really good practice. I guess we have another board for spares and repairs. I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Most importantly, have a great weekend and I will see you in the next one. Peace.